Hey guys, it is the Screen Team, and we are ready for a full hour of movie reviews. We're excited because this weekend we are celebrating our 7th anniversary this weekend, and we got Sabrina join us a little bit later on in the show. We'll be reviewing some of her films like Cars 3. Also, we'll be reviewing the movie A Monster's Call and The Best Whorehouse in Texas. Did you ever see that one?
Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
See?
Yeah, I've seen it.
7 years, and I'm still messing things up, man. It's just how I do. But we got Jamie for some really, really good films this first half hour of the show. Jamie, and it's good to have you on the show, first
Thanks.
off. We got a cool little eclectic mix of movies. We'll be reviewing Baby Driver a little bit later, which is an awesome, awesome movie. Can't wait to hear your thoughts on it. We'll also be reviewing the movie All Nighter, but first up is a movie called Light of Day. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Light of Day is a movie that came out like mid-'80s, somewhere around there.
It's 88, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's later 80s because, of course, Joan Jett, everybody knew who she was from her music career. And then Michael J. Fox was a pretty established star because of the Back to the Future films and things like that.
Yeah.
So.
And this movie's interesting because we see Michael J. Fox, and I seen him in a movie that you don't kind of see this character from Michael J. Fox a lot. He's a guy who smokes, a guy who cusses, and
I didn't realize until just recently when somebody brought it up. I think it was Leah Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
Michael J. Fox has always been a heavy smoker.
I didn't know that.
I don't know if he still does due to other health issues, but
right.
Back then, yeah, and he went to great pains apparently to not be photographed or filmed smoking until this movie.
That's wild, man. This movie is about kind of being a rock star a little bit. It's about kind of finding your way mid-level, trying to go on touring here and there kind of thing, but also it's about family as well.
Yeah. And, I remember I watched this movie when it came out, and then, watched it a couple of years later on video, VHS.
VHS.
And
look it up, kids.
And then really hadn't thought much about the movie. I mean, I knew it existed, but I didn't think much about it until just recently. And I forget why it even came back on my radar. And I was like, that'd be a good one for the Screen Team, just because. Music, me, I'm a musician. So
just out of curiosity, what did you think? You saw it earlier, you saw it now. Did it change for you?
Not really. Because all those basic themes are still there. That's what the movie's built on: family and music and trying to be a rock star, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
There was like one little story element that didn't really work for me, and I guess it was kind of a personal thing. And I don't want to spoil it because it's definitely a movie that's worth watching if you like stuff that's kind of music related, especially if you're a Joan Jett fan. You get to hear her sing and whatnot. And I found out a bunch of different stuff about this movie that I didn't realize until just recently.
Like what?
Well, Bruce Springsteen wrote the theme song.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Originally, they had thought about Bruce Springsteen for the role that Michael J. Fox played.
The film was supposed to be called Born in the USA.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
And he wrote that song because of this movie.
Yeah, and
then he was like, no, and he's like, well, they didn't think it fit thematically or something.
Yeah.
And then they went with Light of Day, and he also wrote that song.
Yeah.
And then he put Born in the USA on his album, and then next thing you know, it's a big hit. So
of course.
But so I mean, it's an interesting film. It's definitely not the greatest film, but it's got a neat cast. You got Michael McKean as the bass player guy that's in the band, and he's got a wife and a job and all that. And it really kind of reflects what a working musician goes through a lot, because a lot of working musicians have day jobs too, whether it's delivering pizza or being a graphic designer.
Yeah.
It shows them at the factory and stuff like that.
It's funny. I thought about you, not just because you picked the movie, but because there was a scene where they're kind of going this like little mini tour kind of thing. I think they're from Cleveland, but they're kind of making their way through Ohio and then Michigan and stuff like that. But they go to this one bar and they're having like this negotiations with this, the bar owner.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, $275, half drinks for the band. We get 10% of the door, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, because I hear, I do a lot with the local scene, and I hear you guys talk, and I was like, that's got to be what it's like for you guys,
Yeah, a lot of the time, you really do have to negotiate a lot with a bar owner or a club owner, however you want to look at it. And some of them they have what they have their deal,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. That's as much as they'll do. They'll pay you this much, or they give you this much on drinks or whatever,
Right.
and that's it. And there's really no moving them. And then other ones are a little more flexible, depending on what type of band you are, what kind of crowd they think you're going to draw. So yeah, it's like I said, there's a lot of relatable stuff in this film for musicians, especially working musicians.
You might make fun of me, but that's okay. I kind of like Joan Jett's performance in this.
I kind of do too, and like I said, the story thing had less to do with her than just the way that they took care of it, like near the end of the film. Mm-hmm. There's an animosity with this preacher that's a friend of the family, and it's just like, oh, really? That's because I'd forgotten that part of the story from seeing it a long time ago. Mm-hmm. So I guess it didn't really make that much of an impact on me, or I didn't think of it that negatively back then. To like, wow, why did they do that? If they changed that one thing, but it didn't ruin the movie. So.
Right. There was some hit and miss parts with Joan Jett. There was parts where like, she could have, but I thought for the most part, being a musician, I thought she really came in and did a knockout job, especially with some of those more serious scenes in the movie.
Oh yeah.
So, do you have to be a musician to like this film? And you think,
no,
okay,
I don't think so. It's got the little extras for musicians about.
Yeah.
Playing in the clubs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The weird sound guy. So
I don't know. Gotta love Michael J. Fox's hair in this movie too, man.
Yeah.
He's got that crazy mullet going on. It's wild for sure. The movie's called All Nighter. The only issue.
No, Light of Day.
You're right, Light of Day. The only issue. See, I'm already
skipping ahead.
But the thing that was difficult with this movie was actually finding a copy of it.
Yeah.
Netflix doesn't have it. Amazon didn't have it.
Family Video doesn't have it.
I had to go on YouTube to find a copy of it, and like the words and the sound didn't align right. I'm just like, all right.
It's like I kept pausing and going, maybe it'll catch up.
Yeah.
Rewinding it a little bit. It's like, okay.
So this movie might be a little bit hard for you to locate, but it is on YouTube. You might have to buy a copy on Amazon or something like that. But
if you find it for $3 or $4, it's worth it. Just to say you saw it. Yeah.
Movie is called Light of Day. Jamie, what do we have coming up next?
All Nighter.
Look at this. You should be the host of this show. It's the Screen Team. We got more next on KWOC.